Alright guys, this is example 15.13a and c. Okay, so 15.13a starts off with this circuit here, resistor, inductor, capacitor, and it gives you the two impedances. So it says calculate the total impedance. You just add the resistor plus J times the inductive reactance minus J times the capacitive reactance. It's always plus for the inductor, minus for the capacitor. So then you just do the math here. 3 for R, X of L is 4, X of C is 5. So you combine like terms, so to speak, and then 4 minus 5 is just a -1 here. It also wanted you to do it in polar form. You guys know how to do that, but you take Z equals the square root of R squared plus X squared, R being 3, X being -1. I already squared the term in here. I just put a 1 in here because it doesn't matter when you square it. And then you get 9 plus 1, square root of 10. And then doing the math, it's 3.16. The phase angle is the inverse tangent of X over R equals the inverse tangent. This is the absolute value of -1 over 3 equals 18.43 degrees. And then down here, I wrote Z total, which was the same as this Z up here, equals Z angle theta 3.16, and I put -18.43 because when you go and look at this, this is 3 minus J. When you draw it on this diagram here, this is 3. This is a -1 here, so it's negative. That's where I got that negative from. So it's really important. It's probably easier just to draw that rectangular form first. So we're going to do that over here for the next problem. This is 15.13 part C. There's a resistor, an inductor, capacitor, and another inductor. Notice that it gives you just the inductance and capacitance, but then it also gives you the frequency. So you have to use another formula that requires another step. You take the total inductance, add them both together, you get 247 millihenries. And then X sub C equals omega L equals 2 pi FL equals 2 pi times 10 to the third hertz, because you're given 1 kilohertz up here, which is 10 to the third. Multiply all that out, that's 247 times 10 to the -3 millihenries, and that equals 1.55 times 10 to the third, or 1.55 kiloohms. X sub C is 1 over 2 pi FC equals 1 over 2 pi 10 to the third hertz times C is 0.1 times 10 to the 6 farads, because we were given that up here. That's equal to 1.59 kiloohms. So adding them together, you get C sub T R plus J X sub L, which is the reactance of the inductor, minus J X sub C, the reactance of the capacitor, 470 plus J 1.55 K minus J 1.59 K. So when you add the plus 1.55 minus 1.59, you get a -40. Because remember, those are to the 1,000 times 10 to the third. So then that's the rectangular form. So we're going to go over here and draw that real quick. The 470 is here, and then the -40 is here. So we know that that angle is going to be negative, okay? We don't know what it is yet. I know I have it written here, but we haven't figured it out. So to get the magnitude in polar form, take the square root 470 plus negative 40 squared ends up equaling 471.70, and then the angle is the inverse tangent of x over r, absolute value, which is negative 40 over 470 equals 4.86. So I went back up here, wrote that 4.86 in. That's it.